What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what's moving it, and just kind of talk on generally if big money knows something is coming with Lucid. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Lucid is up 0.85%. Nothing crazy, but it's always good to see them green, other EVs, American EVs, red. So Tesla right now is down 3.6%. Rivian is down 0.5%. So Lucid has been doing fairly well. $2.90 the low, $3.04 the high. First thing, you did have ADP employment change a little bit hotter than anticipated. So 183,000 the actual, 120,000 the forecast. So not all that great, but as a byproduct of that, you did see this go up slightly. So now there is a 16.5% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut for the upcoming March meeting. So all this negative data, I think, might potentially help. I don't think this is really influencing the market all that much. Rather, there's just a lot of companies, oddly enough, flopping on their earnings. And then you also have Trump with the whole kind of Gaza scenario. People just don't know what is coming next. It's going to be a fun ride. But nonetheless, though, Lucid seems to be doing fairly well. No official news associated to them today. No SEC filings. So it is just kind of optimism. And this is why I did kind of mention at the beginning, does big money know something? Because as of over the last 5 days, Lucid is up 6.87%, S&P is down 0.51%, Tesla is down 8%, Rivian is up 1.35%. So you don't really see this type of scenario happening all too often. And in the past, sometimes if you follow what big money is doing, it kind of leads you to believe something might be coming. And basically right now you do have shorts returning 2.47 million shares, and that's not necessarily the case with Rivian or Tesla, even though Tesla is not heavily shorted. But Rivian, you have shorts increasing today. A lot of kind of heavily shorted stocks, shorts are increasing. So this in among itself is very abnormal. Same goes for this right here. These are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. And like I bring this up almost every day. So this definitely is a lot more than the norm. Lately, we've seen maybe like 5, 8 at max. So definitely shows that big money is paying attention to Lucid. And at the same time, like I said, shorts for whatever reason are returning. And there's a lot of good articles coming out, all linking about ESS maybe coming out, new battery technology. So I think there's a lot of good things happening and will be happening for Lucid. Just we've yet to hear those sweet nothings from the company itself. So until that does happen, it is just speculation at this stage. But moving on from here, 639,000 in calls, 178,000 in puts, 65% of all the options being done are optimistic in nature. So again, for those of you that watch my videos every day, you know that is abnormal. Normally you don't see this level of bullishness. Sometimes it's like a one-off, but over the last several trading days, there has been more and more bullish consensus for the options. So something to kind of consider. Basically very low volume though today, so 817,000 in premiums right now. 1.7 was yesterday, 1.4 the day prior, but generally you see a lot of good momentum. So 5 consecutive green days so far with Lucid. Hopefully I don't jinx it by saying that out loud, but yeah, honestly, Lucid's going on a pretty good path right now. But aside from that, of the call options that are being purchased, you are finally starting to get some activity linking to the week of Lucid's earnings. So week ending February the 28th, you do have a consensus for it to be above $4. So pretty good stuff for that. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub, looks like $3 for this week. Not really much for the week ending for February the 28th. You do have 2,000 that was purchased for it to be sub $2, and that is for the March 21st week ending of that. But yeah, honestly, there's not really much bearishness going on when it comes down to this. As far as this right now, though, with it at $2.96. It is trading between this pivot and this S1, so $3 is going to be that key resistance point that you really want to watch for it to get above early on, hopefully tomorrow, or even better yet, if it closes above that today. And then the next step would be $3.40. $2.61 is going to be that next strong support, and that hasn't been touched for a good week and a bit, and when it did, it held up like a champ. So I think honestly, Lucid is getting a certain level of FOMO going into their earnings. And plus, I think at the same time, that recent article by, I think, Intelligent, I can't remember the whatever, but it did signal that there was 50 gravities. Even though it's not all that much, it goes to show that Lucid's actually doing something behind the scenes. No new analyst ratings. So last one was done 12 days ago, so no updates for that. No updates for this either. I've been monitoring just to see if there's been any changes to the earnings per share or the revenue estimates. Still nothing really going on for that. You do see at the same time, though, a lot of good bullishness for pretty much for 2025. So when you're investing in a stock, this is exactly what you want to look at. And this is all coming from analysts. And majority of the analysts are bearish. So if they're seeing upside with revenue, that's kind of telling. But this blue line is the actuals, what did happen. So kind of lackluster over the last year and a half, but this is the forecasted, so pretty good growth if you ask me. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Aside from all that fun stuff though, on the actual chart, given the momentum, it is above all the key fib levels, so above the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages, as well as ALMA. Only negative is that it is getting a little bit hot based on the stochastic RSI. So again, if there's a negative piece of news, whether it be specific to Lucid or the broader market, you could see some volatility linking to that. But as long as it closes below that 200 or above that 200-day moving average, which is at $2.93, Lucid should be moving higher from here. So let me know your viewpoint on Lucid. Do you think that big money knows something, or is it just a certain level of kind of FOMO? What's your viewpoint on that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing though, if you do want all this information completely free, I recommend a lot of you just to sign up for 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗧. You have a lot of good information here, and I've had more and more people ask me where you can do 24-hour and overnight trading, and that is 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗧. They have the largest list of all the available stocks that you can do. So yeah, I really recommend a lot of people to sign up. And yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that, and then let's all make a lot of money on Lucid, guys.